Hi everyone, and welcome to my broadcast celebrating this full moon energy that is actually coming in this evening. If you're on the Pacific coast, I believe it's coming in around 9 p.m. For those of us on the eastern seaboard, we're going to be seeing the moon at its full zenith actually in the early hours of tomorrow morning. So it's really kind of depending on where you live as to when the full moon is going to be at its extraordinarily fullest power. What I would like to tell you though is that it's really something that we need to be paying attention to. And for those of you out there that might be feeling a little bit like having the crazies going on, it is well justified, because this full moon that we're having right now, the only word to describe the energy is intense. It's just we know that the full moon always brings us some things to stop and think about, but this one especially is very intense. Now, the full moon is in Capricorn, and I'm not going to be even talking that much about the idea that it is in Capricorn, but what I am going to be talking about is the fact that this full moon is only 1 degree from the planet Pluto, and that's what's really impacting it, much more than the fact that it's in the house of Capricorn. Why is that significant? Because Pluto represents beginnings and endings, but usually through a destructive way. So in other words, it's a time of renewal, but there's usually quite a bit of chaos involved when the planet Pluto is involved with it. So that's what we're really thinking about right now, the whole idea that we are going to be facing this energy and how are we going to deal with it. As I said, when we look at Pluto, we know that it brings us rebirth, but we've got to really clean out the old. And because of the energy of this planet, what it does is it really does signify a time where we might be feeling turmoil. Maybe we're the type of people that enjoy compromise, enjoy peacemaking, and all of a sudden really feeling like you have to move now. And full moon energy, as I said, is always intense, but this full moon energy is intense in a different way. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's going to bring out the warrior in us. It's going to bring out this idea that we really want to just make things happen now, and we're being very, very guided by our feelings, almost to the point of being overwhelmed by them. And that's the one cautionary thing I want to just have you pay attention to when we're looking at this full moon energy. It's not only, again, about new beginnings and starting things new as we clear out the old. It's really, really focusing on our relationships. So if you're in a romantic relationship, if you're in a business partnership, if you're in a family relationship, anything that you might have been feeling a little bit maybe debating about in your relationship is going to be bubbling to the surface in a huge way in this energy. So the caution here is to proceed with caution, to take your time as you're looking into what it is that you want to do. I don't know about you, but there's been some things that have been coming up for me the past few days, tied into everything, tied into all different types of transitions I'm going through. And I haven't been sleeping that well because I'm thinking about all the different options I have and how should I do this and how should I do that. And it's like I just don't feel like I can think straight. So now with the research I did on the way Pluto is affecting this full moon, it makes me understand why the best way to describe my emotions is tumultuous. There's times, really, the past few days I felt like a volcano that all I wanted to do is erupt. And this is what I'm here to tell you. You want to keep those feelings as much as you can under wraps, because it's not a time to really be expressing yourself, because there's too much going on. There's too much going on, and you might say things that you regret. You might deal with things in a different type of way than you ordinarily would because of this energy. Now, keep in mind, when we have a full moon, it's when the sun is directly opposite the moon. So we've got that juxtaposition of the sun opposite the moon. So it's shedding the most light on the moon, thus, you know, this brilliant light that we see in the sky. It's also shedding a lot of light metaphorically on us and on our dark side. And because of this Pluto connection, it could be exposing parts of our dark side that might be kept better under wraps. Now, we always know that expressing how we feel, expressing our emotions is definitely the way to go. But this time, it's really important that you take a step back, take a nice deep breath when you're thinking about what it is that you're going to be doing, and then take your time with your decisions. Remember, we had that solar eclipse with the new moon a couple weeks ago, so you might have set some intentions there, maybe even dealing with a relationship. You might have set some intentions. It's a good time now to explore what was it that you had hoped to accomplish by this full moon. Were there things that you really wanted to do in that relationship? Again, I'm not saying to stop all communication, not express how you're feeling. However, you've got to be cautious. Anger is really bubbling up. And like I said, I have really been experiencing this myself. So this whole idea of feeling like you're just a little bit off center, off kilter. I'm normally a patient person, but right now I feel like my patience is at a minimum. So I'm really, there are some things that I was all about to do until I really started researching it for this Facebook Live, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take what I'm teaching and talking about to all of you and just take some time with what it is that I'm doing and just not make any big decisions. So here's my first recommendation for this energy. Don't make any relationship decisions right now, because it's really important that you take time and remember that much of what you're feeling is really related to this energy that we're being pounded with. And I hate to use that word, but I'm going to. For those of you out there that are listening that are women, and you know when you get that time of month where you're totally irrational, we're almost looking at a similar energy right now. And we know it's never a good idea to make these decisions when we're feeling irrational. So full moon is in Capricorn, but what's majorly influencing this is just this whole idea that it's only 1 degree from Pluto. I think it's really interesting that that important meeting of all of the heads of state is going on right now, because even this moon energy could be impacting that. So we might see some fiery things going on, because again, this moon is not inviting us to take things easily. It's inviting us really to, energetically speaking, get out our battle swords and get ready to fight. And that's what we want to keep at bay. That's really what we want to hold off from happening. So what are some of the things that you can do? Well, first of all, don't make any big decisions regarding relationships, regarding work. We feel this energy intensely for 2 days before and 2 days after, but the lasting effects of it can go up to 2 weeks, to where we get into the new moon energy. So take a step back. Might be time to keep toxic people, toxic situation at arm's length. You're going to have more problems biting your tongue. Even if you're the most sedate person, you're going to find your buttons are much more easily pushed with what's going on right now. So just keep all of that in mind. And again, it's a wonderful time for setting intentions, for really, even though we talk about intentions being culminated right now, but it's a good time if you're looking to really get rid of those things that don't serve you anymore. Renewal through destruction. And it can be very metaphoric. Good time to go into meditation. Take some time to look at where you are in your life. Where were you a few weeks ago when that new moon solar eclipse might have, not solar eclipse, I'm sorry, that new moon and summer solstice might have filled you with all kinds of possibilities. And as it's gotten closer to this energy, you're beginning to really see that you've got to change. It's interesting because I've been caught up in really remembering that quote of Einstein's where he said that repeating the same situation and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. And believe me, I am paraphrasing it, but I'm personally finding myself doing that. that I'm doing the same thing over and over again, especially in a particular relationship that I'm in, and I expect different results, and it's not going to happen. So it's really up to me to allow this relationship to take a different path, because doing what I've been doing isn't working. And it's so interesting, because for me, that was like a light bulb, duh. You know, it shouldn't have been. It should have been something that was pretty easy to understand. So keep that in mind. Just look at where you are right now. What is it that you can detoxify? A person, a relationship, a situation? Is there something that you've been stuck in this hamster circle going round and round? It's time to release it, time to let it go, time to really put it to bed in such a way that you don't revive it. So how are some of the ways, again, that we can deal with it? Well, meditation is key. And the essence that I'm going to recommend that will assist you in meditation is sandalwood. Now, sandalwood, what I love about sandalwood is not only is it calming, but it's also very uplifting. And it's almost like we need that, because we need the calming. But you know how when you're really angry and somebody tells you not to voice your opinion, how it makes it even worse? Well, that's why we don't want to do that. I mean, even if it's something like getting a punching bag, the thing I'm recommending is to not do it with the person until this energy gives you a little bit more rational behavior. But if you need to express it, and with sandalwood, it'll give you an opportunity to get into meditation, to relax in meditation, and then to allow it to really like uplift you. So not only will you feel peaceful, but you'll feel a little bit more uplifted. So sandalwood is the essence I'm going to recommend. And I guess I should introduce myself. I always get off of these topics. First of all, for those of you that are joining me for the first time, my name is Susan Dentino, and I am a metaphysical teacher. I do psychic readings. I teach all different types of workshops. I have a radio show that comes to you every Tuesday on W4CY Radio. And I'm also the proud author of Songs of My Life, Slightly Out of Tune, which was published by Hay House. So I've been doing this work really seriously since 2004. I've always been on a metaphysical path, but really putting myself out there professionally since then. So I love what I do, and I really enjoy reaching out and just really doing this type of work that I hope in some way assists you to get through that. I have a very active website, so if you're interested, we're going to get to those mini readings. But if you're interested for, you know, a fuller reading, visit Susan Dentino. That's DINTINO.com, and you'll see all of my services are up there. Also, if you're interested in maybe what I was talking about in any of these moon cycles, the one right before this was the summer solstice and new moon. It's all up on YouTube. And those little tips that I gave you then could still pertain now. So I have an active YouTube station as well. And actually, that video is up on the homepage of my website, which I'm also offering a free download meditation, Awakening the Heart Chakra. And this might be just exactly the time to do it. So sandalwood is the essence. And for all of you that are first-timers, it's a pleasure to meet you. Now, I always recommend a crystal, and so the crystal that I'm going to recommend is ocean jasper. And if you're in the market, this might be a little bit of a challenge to find. Now, I selected this because this really helps calm the emotions. It also assists you in keeping your boundaries in place. And right now, we really want to make sure that those boundaries are in place as much as possible. So this is ocean jasper. And then the flower I'm going to recommend is the Gerber daisy. And what I love about this, and this is from Robert Reeves Flower Therapy Cards, and I picked this card, and I personally selected this card because Gerber popped into my head as the flower that we could use. And then what I really liked about it, when I read it, it talked about balanced relationships. This might be what you're looking at right now. It might be why you're a little bit aggravated. In families, in friendships, even in romantic relationships, if you're the one that does all the work, if you're the one that's always making sure that everybody's happy and everything is peaceful, this energy could really be telling you it's time to stop. It's time to get your healthy boundaries in place. Giving yourself permission to say no, giving yourself permission on those days you just don't feel like doing anything, you know, regardless of who wants you to do this favor, do that favor, which normally you always say yes to. It's all about letting go. So this beautiful flower will remind you of that. And I always advocate getting yourself some really nice flowers and allowing yourself to enjoy their beauty. And one of the other things, Gerber daisies come in all different colors. And when I was looking at this, I'm really feeling like this has so much to do as well with the chakras. You know, when we talk about like this orange color, very tied into the sacral chakra, which is located right around the belly button area. And our chakras are a part of our energetic body. It comes from the Sanskrit word meaning wheel, because if you've ever seen them depicted, they're different colors, spinning wheels that go throughout the body. I think right now with this energy, having these chakras in balance are important. So maybe you'll go look at these Gerber daisies and find that, oh my gosh, the orange is really appealing to you. Well, that could be inviting you to do something creative. Sacral chakra, all about doing something creative. I always tie in these pink colors to the heart. Even though traditionally the heart chakra is emerald green in color, this very much is inviting you to self-love, passion. I see this as passion. What is it you're passionate about? What is it that you would like to really get yourself going and use this energy as you're really releasing everything that's stopping you from moving forward? The yellow that you see, so much about being in your power, the solar plexus chakra. So when you're selecting your flower, if you find that there's a particular color that you like, check out the chakra. Like if it's red, root, all about feeling safe. You know, we went through this again, solar plexus chakra, in the stomach area, moving up to the heart, the pink, the emerald green, sky blue of the throat. What is your truth? What is it that you're holding back from saying? Speaking your truth. Third eye, indigo, the center of your own intuitive information. So getting this information, what beliefs do I need to change? What is it that I need to do right now that's going to make me live my very best life? And then we pop up to the crown, and this is where we get the information and then we act on it, and that's the vivid indigo color. Remember, it's Roy G. Biv, for those of you that remember that for back in school about the colors of the rainbow. So when I was looking this, all of a sudden I started thinking how cool it would be to really tie these into your chakras. So this is a great deck for those of you that might be looking for an oracle deck. And again, it's Robert Reeves, Flower Therapy, Doreen Virtue, Gerber Daisy. And what I am going to recommend today is really going with our guardian angels. And I can tell you, I shuffled the deck a couple times. This was a random pull, and this is the deck I am going to be pulling from, and it's Healing with the Angels, I believe. I'm going to double check on that. But this card kept coming up because I was thinking, well, can I pull something else? Because you know what? I didn't want to get into this, but this is what your angels want you to do. We're going to work with your guardian angels today in your mini readings. And this card is New Love. And what I really felt is that so many of you out there, and I do romantic readings all the time, the people that are in these unbalanced relationships, so many of you out there are looking for that true balanced relationship. So I really feel this is coming in because this was insisting on being pulled to let you know that new love is coming in for you. I also looked at it to really say about self-love and falling in love with yourself. And we see the pinks and the oranges around this, and so much about really enjoying yourself as a person and knowing how much you bring to the table. But for those of you that are tuning in or listening to the replay, this will be up on my YouTube station. Know that this is a strong hit for you, that new love is coming into your life. So to recap, and I'm going to get to those mini readings. To recap, we've got this full moon energy coming in this evening. Depending where you live, on the West Coast, it's coming in around 9 p.m. tonight. It actually is coming into the very early morning, 12:06, somewhere around there on the Eastern Coast. That's when your sun's going to be the brightest. It's 1 degree from Pluto, which is all about renewal through destruction. And as much as I don't like using destruction, I really understand it's like rising from the ashes, that whole phoenix energy that we have going on. I recommended sandalwood as the essence, Gerber daisy as the flower, ocean jasper as the crystal, and we're going to start talking to our guardian angels. So I'm going to go and check out and see what questions I might have. Okay. Okay, let's see. And so Sharon's talking about insecurities. Yep, you're right. Hello, Robin from New Zealand. And hi, Vicky. Okay, Krista. That's so funny. I was just with my daughter, Krista, in New York this weekend. Okay, so let's see. Krista, Gail, let's see. And I will be pulling cards. I'm just kind of getting a hello. Robin, Deanna, Mary Chris, Sharon. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you enjoyed your email reading. Hey, Michelle, thank you for joining. Gail. All right, Gail, I think we're going to start with you. And just know, for those of you that are posting questions, I will continuously be scrolling through them. I just go to the one that really jumps out, and for some reason I stop where I stop. So there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. Just know that I do it because I really feel that your angels want to come through. So Gail, we're going to be going to your guardian angel. And again, this is Healing with the Angels by Doreen Virtue. So we're going to be going with that deck. And why don't we talk about general readings? And it's interesting because the card just jumped out of the deck. So we're going to use this card. But when we talk about general readings, I know often some people will come and they're really not sure what they want to know. There's nothing wrong with really getting a reading and just saying, what is it that my angels want me to know? What is it that my spirit guides? What am I supposed to know? What intuitive advice do you have for me? That's a particularly okay question to ask. So doing this for Gail, trust. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. All right, so I know these cards come in backwards for you on Facebook, but wow, look now, to me this is such a full moon reference. This was obviously a shuffled pull, and this has you reaching for the moon. And what I'm really seeing, Gail, is there's something around you that you've been procrastinating on and kind of putting on the back burner. This card, and I really feel that intuitively you know that you're supposed to get moving on this. I see a lot of orange around this, so I'm going to go with a creative project. So this is something that you're being invited to trust the information you're getting enough to act on it. And look at too, as we've got the sunset, and I know that's probably just an orb here, but I'm going to interpret it as the sun's going down and this full moon is coming up. Such a strong hit for this energy that's going on right now. So when we're talking about renewal through destruction, that can be clearing. There's so many different ways that you can interpret it in a very positive way. And even though this energy is so intense, you can utilize it as long as you don't get overwhelmed by your feelings so that you lose the rationality. You can utilize this beautiful energy to make your dreams come true. So I feel that, Gail, you know what this is about. There's something that you've been reaching for, putting off. Trust the information that you're getting. I'm also seeing somebody around you that can help you with this. You have to trust that as well. Very much go to your own intuitive guidance. So there you go, Gail. Thanks so much. And remember, this information is coming from your guardian angels. So that's who we've called to help us this evening, this afternoon, whenever you might be tuning in. We're asking our guardian angels. Your angels always have to be called upon to help you. So that's who we're calling in. So I leave that with you, Gail. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Karen. It's so nice to see you. Anne. Okay, Michelle, is there baby pregnancy in the next year for me? You know, Michelle, I scrolled through this quickly before. I wanted to make sure I got back to this. I'm getting a strong yes with this. I'm really seeing a roller coaster symbol around you, which is telling me this has been a bit of a roller coaster ride for you. I think that it's really important, and I know you've been very patient because I'm hearing your angels telling me you've been very patient. Just a little bit longer. I feel like the timing hasn't been right. I'm getting a strong December connection. That could either mean that, you know, you're going to be getting pregnant in December. You're going to know by December. Time is always very relative. So just know that, Michelle. I'm getting a yes on this within the next year. I'm definitely getting that. So, let's just see what card we pulled for you. Let's see if this gives us any further insight. Listening. Okay, so now we have this beautiful angel, and he's speaking to you, obviously. I really think that what I'm seeing around listening with this is I think that there's been a lot of people talking at you, Michelle, like that song, Everybody's Talking at Me, or I'm not sure if that's it, but that's what's playing in my head. What you have to really do is start learning to listen to yourself. I think that you're getting some advice that might in some way make you feel negative about yourself, like, you know, kind of coulda, shoulda, woulda. Really release that. Remember that the power is in the present moment. So when I see this listening, I'm not feeling like this is about you listening to other people. I feel this is about you listening to yourself, listening to your guidance, maybe taking some time. And I see you as being a very active person, Michelle, but it would be really beneficial if you could just get into like maybe a meditation practice as simple as 5 minutes a day where you're just sitting and listening, because I really feel that your messages are going to be getting through to you if you just allow yourself to listen. But I'm getting a strong yes. I saw it as soon as I scrolled through, and I think this listening is more about helping you to calm yourself. So I just got a name, Donald, Michelle. Donald is one of your guardian angels and very much depicted. I'm seeing a strong blue connection. Obviously with this card, it's coming in as blue, but very strongly here. So Donald, we ask that name be confirmed for you in the next 2 weeks. What that means is you're going to meet somebody, hear the name, and you'll know. So just know that, read it, hear it in a song, the word Donald, one of your guardian angels. So thank you so much for tuning in, Michelle. And let me know about that, baby. Okay. Cheryl, hello. Cheryl's saying she just adopted a dog today. I guess that's my new love. Good luck with that puppy or dog, whatever. Hey, Denise. Okay. Krista's asking, she's saying that her marriage has been stuck and she's wondering if things will get better soon. What I'm seeing around you, Krista, is really, it's time for adventure. And this is a word that's coming up for me. I can definitely see what you're saying because, it's, you know, rut is the perfect word to describe it. It's almost like you and your husband are moving in two different directions. And I feel you're more of a doer than he is. I think that there's an opportunity here to find common ground, to do something that the two of you enjoy doing that might be something new, something that you've never tried before. I'm getting rainbows around this relationship. So, Krista, there's a lot of love there. I can sense your frustration because, again, I see this feeling that you have like you're growing apart. And, you know, it's almost like you're in two different rooms. So I don't know if that's a metaphor or if that's really the way it happens. You're off watching your things, he's doing his. So it's really a bit of a challenge for you right now. Time, though, to see if you can come up. And this word is adventure. So I don't know if it's a trip. I feel that there's something coming up for you, an opportunity where the two of you could do something together that would definitely assist you in getting that, getting out of that rut. So let's see what the, let's see what your guardian angel has to say. And Krista, the name I'm getting for you, for your guardian angel, is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, and wow, there's a strong violet color around Elizabeth, and it's interesting. She almost seems like somebody that you would meet in England, like very stately and somebody very proper. And actually, she's almost like I'm seeing violets around her. So not sure if it's a favorite flower of yours, but I'm getting a strong violet connection. That's Elizabeth. And let's see if there's any advice here from Elizabeth. Okay, and miracles. Okay, so here we have this magic wand as I'm going to interpret it. And it's interesting because looking at her, I just wanted to get a better look at it. Looking at her like little belt around her is that strong violet color that I'm getting around your guardian angel. So violet is a way to really communicate with her, really have her come in. And she's letting you know that there's a miracle in your life. And I believe miracles happen each and every day. They can be something very simple or something much more profound. Know you've got the Midas touch right here. And I believe that that's what this sword is representing, a Midas touch, a beam of light where you can really create what it is. If there's not an adventure coming your way, create one. And I'm seeing a lot of water around this, so not sure if you're somebody or he's somebody that maybe a cruise or something that you could get him involved in. I feel though that there's a definite water connection, but I see you two getting out of this rut and doing something that's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for tuning in, Krista. And like I said, my daughter spells her name a little bit differently, but I love that name. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, Gail, yeah, Cheryl, you're right. This is an early deck, and I know that often people will ask me how I select my decks. I always, right before the show, I go and I say, okay, what is going to give us the most information? So I was very guided to use this. I usually pick a specific angel when I'm doing this, and I just felt so guided that the guardian angels wanted to be heard. And all of us have guardian angels, at least 2 usually or 3. We'll have some guardian angels that are with us from the time we're born, stay with us till the time we cross over. There's also other angels that will come and go, that will come into our lives in the role of a guardian angel, and then kind of maybe say you're working on a project and an angel will come in that will help to inspire you and motivate you, and you get the project done and that angel might move on. But it's my belief that there are always at least 2 with you, and that we have these angels that come and go. So that's what we're talking about. But as I said, because of our free will, an angel's always got to be called. So Genevieve would just like a general reading. So let's see, Genevieve, what we have coming up for you. And as I said earlier, I do mini readings during my radio show, which is on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on W4CY Radio. And I don't know if you got it. Well, you can't see down there far. But what happened is I was shuffling, a card jumped out of the deck, which we call a jumper, because it jumps out of the deck. And whenever that happens, I always pay particular attention to it, especially if I'm doing more than a 1-card reading. I'll say, okay, this card really wanted to be pulled. Most of the time when I'm doing readings for my clients, I'll begin with 3-card pulls and then build off those 3 cards. Oh, wow. Well, here we go. Now this is the listening card that I just pulled not that long ago. So what could this mean for you? And Genevieve, I'm going to pull another card for you just because this is the same and I talked about it. I'm really feeling more and more, especially with this group, and I tend to get this type of information coming in. It will find a trend. Genevieve, I think it would really be a good idea for you to start a meditation practice and really make the time to do it. This listening to me again is that you are asking for some wonderful things, asking questions, and you're not hearing the answers. And I feel that the reason you're not hearing them is because your mind is so occupied most of the time. I think you can be a bit of a worrier, and your mind is so occupied most of the time that you don't really hear. Even though your guidance is coming to you, you don't really hear it. You know, the Buddhists called it monkey mind when we had all that chatter going on in our mind. So this is just telling you the benefits of listening and getting into meditation. And here we go. Here's intention. Here's intention. Beautiful color here, very much the color that I see, very close to the crown chakra. And that's so much about when we set an intention and then we ask for help from our divine helpers. And again, it can be, you can pray to whatever being that you believe will help you. This is in no way trying to convert people into doing things they're not comfortable doing. All this is saying is that there are beings out there that are unconditional love, that are really waiting to help you. And this is your guardian angel coming through. So what she's telling you is, I do feel there's something you've been asking, and you need to listen to hear the answer so you can set an intention. When we talk about setting an intention, what we're saying is that we really want to create and bring something into our lives. So say, just to use something very general, that you're suffering from a health challenge and you want to bring in good health. So your intention would be, my health is perfect now. Because when you're making an intention, you're going to create an affirmation. An affirmation is a statement of fact in the present tense. Even though it might not be your truth now, you talk it till it becomes your truth. So fake it till you make it. So I'm feeling meditation around you, setting a very specific intention as to what it is that you would like to create. The name I'm getting for you, Genevieve, is Bradley. And again, he's a very tall angel, male. And again, strictly speaking, angels are energy, so they're not male or female, but they come to us in certain ways where we feel they're more masculine or feminine. I always use Archangel Gabriel as an example, because many times you'll see Archangel Gabriel depicted as a male, and then you'll see, that angel depicted as a female. I work with Archangel Gabriel a lot. I'm a writer I work with. She's great for communication. You see how I go to she. To me, it's a very feminine energy. But there are many people that will refer to Archangel Gabriel as male. So it's all what matters to you. But Bradley, I feel, is definitely somebody that is waiting to help you do this. So it might be a good idea when you go into meditation to help calm your mind, to call on your guardian angel Bradley, assist me in quieting my mind, and then just focus on the breath. I just did a radio show on meditation. I hope it was broadcast, because we weren't live on this past Tuesday for the 4th of July. I hope it was broadcast, because I had a lot of great tips in there, and I'm actually thinking that I might do a Facebook Live and just talk about meditation, because I think it's so important. So there you go, Genevieve. Thank you so much and for tuning in. So let's see. Oh wow, I don't want to scroll through that. Ellie is saying, morning, if I could please have a reading, could I get advice on whether or not to do the course I'm thinking about? Okay, Ellie. So morning, I wonder where it is that, good morning to you. See, I love that we're getting people from all over the world. I'm getting a yes with this. I'm getting that this is something that you should definitely do. Again, I feel like this theme keeps coming up where people are giving advice that might not be the best advice for you. So I'm just, whatever I get people that are kind of being, too chattery. That's not a word. But anyways, that they're talking too much around you. I always see magpies, and I always see like these magpies, and I'm getting that around you right now, that there's a lot of people, again, talking at you. So really learn to kind of get through that, and let me put these 2 cards back in the deck. Get through that and really pay attention to your own intuitive ability. What I'm seeing around you is that you're very clear cognizant, and what that means is you get a strong knowing about things. You're not sure how you know it. It's not a practical thing. It's just the way you know something. You'll just know, like knowing when the phone rings, who's going to be on the other end. So you can trust that intuitive ability of yours. A lot of indigo in your auric field, which is telling me again, you're getting the information. Trust yourself with this. And let's see what card you get again. What does your guardian angel want you to know? Enchantment. And we've got a beautiful unicorn here. It's all about you, Ellie, making magic and being enchanted with where you are are in your life and where you're going. I really feel that this is a strong hit for you to lighten up. Really make sure, what I see around you, Allie, is some fairy energy. And when I talk about fairies, I'm talking about specific fairies, like, you know, Tinkerbell and that kind of thing. Outdoors, being outside is very important for your energy. And the other thing that's very important for you is playtime. So when you decide to take this course, and I am getting a yes with that, make sure that you're keeping your life in balance and bringing the enchantment and the fun. I think you feel it's an all or nothing thing, and I believe you've gotten this card because you can definitely incorporate the two together. Okay, you can have fun and take this course. It's about keeping your life in balance, which I think at times you get very intense, so much so that everything else, you know, kind of gets pushed off. Whereas it's important to do well with what you're doing for your energy. Again, that light-hearted elemental energy, it's important that you have enchantment and fun in your life. The name that I'm getting for you is Danelle. Danelle is one of your guardian angels. And again, and it's interesting because I don't know if you remember the Sleeping Beauty Walt Disney movie. That's the visual I'm getting about her, like a fairy godmother kind of energy. So she's somebody, and she's saying, I'm always trying to get her to play. I'm always reminding her to play. You can call on her, Danelle that is, and help her remind her. But getting a yes, and beautiful unicorn to remind you of the enchantment in your life. So I leave this with you. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, we're scrolling through. Okay. Marguerite. My pleasure to do a reading for you. So again, we're going through these general readings and just seeing what your guardian angel wants you to know. So just coming through, and it's funny how all of a sudden I hadn't intended to do these names, but boy, they're all lined up, your guardian angels wanting to make sure that you get the information that you need. So let's just, that's why the names keep popping into my head as I'm shuffling these decks. And it's funny because Marguerite, Samantha has just stepped in. Samantha is one of your guardian angels, and wow, she's got a brilliant yellow color around her, just vibrant. So what she's reminding you is the importance of staying in your power, to making sure that you're comfortable when you believe something strongly. I see a lot of peacemaking around you, which is an admirable quality, but I think there's times that you really bend over backwards for the sake of peace. And it's not in any way that I feel that, you know, you need to be disruptive, but you just have to always make sure that you're being true to yourself and you're speaking your truth, because there's times I feel that you've had to stifle what you really believe to be true for the sake of peace. And we know, like I say, blessed are the peacemakers. I totally agree with that. But sometimes when we're always stifling what we truly feel, it becomes impossible. And before we know it, we're exploding over things that absolutely make no sense at all. So let's see what your guardian angel has to say. Beautiful yellow. Playfulness. Okay, so again, this would very much speak to what I am saying about being reminded of staying in your power. What we often forget is that when we're living a life and really trying to adhere to a certain way of living, we forget about that playfulness, our inner child that really wants to be recognized. And I think so many of you, as we're going through these readings, are really relating to this whole idea of rebirth through destruction. In other words, removing the things that no longer serve us. I'm feeling a strong balance connection as well. So this is just reminding that all work and no play is not the way to go. And especially for so many of us, it's the summertime, depending where you are in the world, where we're being invited to play, we're being invited to enjoy our lives. So this has come in along with your guardian angel to really let you know that it's time for you to play. Being in your power, you can still be playful, you can still be the peacemaker, but what you have to say matters. And what I'm getting, very strong message from your guardian angel, your opinion matters. So keep that in mind, Marguerite. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, Anne Marie. Okay, I need to know if my finances are going to get better soon. You know, Ann, I'm seeing a lot of 8s around you, which is a strong sign for me that you've got abundance coming into your life. So I am getting that it's going to happen. These 8s could be about August. They could be about the 8th of the month. I feel like it's going to be out a little bit in the fall, where you're really going to feel like you can breathe. Towards the end of the fall, I know you've been patient, and I really feel that you've been using the law of attraction and thinking, okay, this is really something that's going to work for me. And it is working. It's divine timing. And I think sometimes when we're manifesting, we forget that there are things like that going on that we have to just, you know, make sure that we're cognizant of, that we can have the best intentions and everything can be going perfectly with what we're manifesting, and the universe has other plans, so it's not anything that you're doing wrong. So I'm getting that you're going to be harvesting, so I would say October, November, and again I'm seeing an 8, so it could be as soon as August, but for some reason I'm not feeling that. I feel like it's going to be a little bit longer. Ooh, and here's what we pulled for you, the romance card, Anne Marie. So I'm almost feeling like this has more to do with the relationship that you're in. There's an old soul energy around this relationship. And what I'm getting around this is that maybe it has to do with, like, what does this have to do with your finances? It's almost like you were like romancing the stone, romancing yourself. I really think that what would be beneficial for you is to really get some self-care in, to almost like take yourself on some dates, because I'm not feeling like I'm going to interpret this literally, because again, it could be, you know, something around you as far as outside romance, but I'm not getting that. I feel this has more to do with you. One thing I want to really point out here is when we talk about bringing abundance into our lives, we have to realize we have to be open to receive. And I always say to people when they say, well, what do you mean by that? I always say, how do you accept a compliment? If I say you look good, what do you say? Do you say, oh, and this old thing, or this is a bad hair day? No, you just accept the compliment and say thank you. So what this is reminding you is about receiving and seeing these two angels like this together. I just feel this has so much about you being open to receiving. If we want more financial abundance, any type of abundance to come into our lives, it's really important that we receive on all levels. So that's what I'm feeling. And Celeste has just come in and she's giving me this information. Celeste is your guardian angel, one of them. So we ask that she validate that name for you. And again, everybody that have gotten names today, just keep that in mind. Just whatever name I gave you, jot down, and don't ask me, because I can tell you right now, I don't remember. Like the last read I did, I know I got a name and I gave it to the person and it flew out of my head. So re-listen if you didn't have a chance to jot it down. Re-listen to it on Facebook or go over onto my YouTube station. I'll invite you to do that and listen to it then. So these they're coming in, and I'm really got like a line of them waiting. So just re-listen and call on that angel to help you. Okay, so let's see what else we've got coming up here. Okay, so Krista likes this whole adventure idea. Okay, Lori, I'm going to move in new home within the next year. Thanks. Oh, if I'm going to move. Okay, hey, see? I didn't even see the if, so I was yes, you're going to move and new home within the next year. Yes, definitely, because I was going to say, I don't feel it's going to happen this year, but I think you're definitely going to have all of the things in place so that you're really going to be able to get excited. So I see once this process starts, it's going to happen very quickly for you. It's going to be like boom, 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 really quickly for you happening. So I do see that. And oh, wow, see these 8s I'm seeing, that's right. Can't believe it'll be 2018. But keep in mind that we are at the halfway point, just a little bit past that, with June being the 6th month of the year. Keep in mind that this can be a whole new happy new year for you. We're only halfway through the year, and even though it's flying by, it certainly seems to be with me, I definitely invite you to realize that you can do so much now to bring what it is that you would like to bring into your life. So Lori, I'm getting a yes with that for you, and I'm seeing a strong spring connection, but I feel like you're going to really know and have great news well before that. So whether it's news from the bank or something like that, I feel like you're definitely going to be feeling that. And Rachel has come in, and Rachel is your guardian angel. And the words I'm getting from Rachel is feng shui. She's talking about feng shui. Not exactly sure where that's coming in, but it could very well have a strong message for you when you're looking for a new house. And I always tell people when they're doing this to go into these houses, and the first question you ask yourself is, how do you feel in this house? Is this a house you can see yourself living in? How do you feel? So just keep that in mind as you're looking, because I'm just getting feng shui, and these angels are coming and going so fast, I can't even tell you. So let's see what comes up. Signs. Okay, so your guardian angel is inviting you to watch for the signs. Again, I feel like this is going to be all positive. Love this celestial, really reaching for the stars, the celestial metaphor that, again, about making magic. And often what happens, I just feel like this, with everything we're talking about, it's so important to remember to receive. When you go into meditation and ask these questions, or when you are even taking like a walk where you're not being distracted, and just listen, look for the signs. That perfect house that pops up and you're thinking, wow, that's way outside my price range. But for some reason, you see it in the paper. Somebody calls and says, hey, did you see that house? It's a sign. Watch for the signs on this journey, because they're definitely going to come through. So thank you so much, Lori, for tuning in. Okay, so let's see, Denise. Okay, we're going to do Denise, and then I will end with Benjamin. For those of you that I didn't get to, I apologize. I do my best to get to as many of you as I can. Again, a reminder, tune into my show on Tuesdays, because I do it, W4CY Radio, 7 p.m. Eastern. I do these little mini readings with that as well. And let's see what your guardian angel wants you to know, Denise. Power. Oh, wow. And look at the beautiful green color around this. Denise, what this is telling me is I feel like you've been going through, a bit of a boom, boom, boom. Again, I'm getting that roller coaster image again. And what this card is inviting you to do is reclaim your power. I feel like you're healing right now on an energetic level. I'm not a medical intuitive, so whenever I talk about healing and things like that, I'm always saying this from a point of energy. So keep that in mind. But this angel just has so much power behind her, and I'm getting Daisy for you, and Daisy is one of your guardian angels, and she is almost a goddess type energy, very, very strong. I'm seeing a lot of yellow, of course, with the solar plexus chakra, inviting you to be in your power. So they are saying that the past is the past, let it go and leave it behind you. And again, as we're talking about this destruction and rebirth, releasing the past can be huge when you're rebirthing yourself. Remember, the power is always in the present. That's where you want to be. So this is so much about releasing, letting go. Daisy is coming in, reminding you that you're healing, let the past go, it's where it belongs, and release. So I leave this with you, Denise. Thank you so much for tuning in. And here we go. Last but not least is Benjamin. Thank you so much for tuning in, Benjamin. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you that took the time out of your evening. And wow, we had a card jump right out for you, Benjamin. So let's see what we pulled. Dreams. So what I'm seeing around this, and I'm getting a Matthew for you, Benjamin. Very strong male figure, Matthew. And he almost has like a hunter energy, but not a hunter that would go out and harm anything, but more a hunter of ideas. I think you've had some questions, and I think that they are trying to get through to you in dream time. Pay attention to your dreams. And it's really interesting because I have Melissa Virtue, who is an expert on dreams. She's actually coming on my radio show the last Tuesday in July. And she'll be talking about how to interpret your dreams. That's Melissa Virtue. She's got a deck out, an oracle deck on dreams, and just a foremost expert. But what I would suggest, Benjamin, is that you keep a journal by your bed. When you wake up, as soon as you wake up, jot down some of what you remember, even if it's just words. Don't allow yourself to say, oh, I don't remember my dreams. As soon as you wake up, write down whatever comes to you. The more you do that, the better you'll get at remembering your dreams. And Melissa will have some hints on that, but I really feel that you've had questions that you've been asking, and your guardian angel, Matthew, is really letting you know that dreams are the way he is getting this information to you. So Benjamin, thank you so much for tuning in. That's dreams. And look at how we have these beautiful lilies, my favorite flowers, so much. So your information is coming through in dream time. So pay attention so that you can get your answers. And here we are. Wow, almost an hour into this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Just to recap, for those of you that might have joined a little bit late, we talked about this full moon in Capricorn, but the most important thing about it is its proximity to Pluto, which is so much about destruction and rebirth. Energy is super intense, especially in relationships. So if you feel angry, you might want to take a step away and allow yourself to cool down before you do anything. I recommended sandalwood as a wonderful essence to calm you and uplift you. Ocean jasper is a crystal that I think would assist you right now with that strong ocean energy combined with the jasper will really protect you energetically, as well as being a calming influence, really help you with your boundaries. I also recommended Gerber daisies, all different colors. Get yourself some fresh flowers and enjoy them, and just really, maybe if the certain color appeals to you and you're not really sure what chakra it's involved with, check it out and look into it. And last but not least, this full moon, our guardian angels wanted to come by and be recognized and really say hi and just remind you that they're always there waiting to help you. Unconditional beings of light. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy full moon, even though it might feel a little bit intense, we can always use it for our benefit. This is Susan Dentino. I thank you so much, and I'll see you for the new moon in a few weeks. Take care now and have a wonderful night.